Welcome to the Voyage of the Naughty Nuts. Let's look at Zen koans as naughty nuts. So if you want to, follow this talk so we can penetrate the mystery and the enigma of Zen koans and why most people don't understand them. So here's a Zen koan. A master and a monk were walking by a chicken coop, a chicken yard, and the monk asked the master, Why do the roosters fight? And the master said, It's because of you. It's because of you. Now that's a naughty nut. Why do the roosters fight? It's because of you. Now what does that mean? I'm not making the roosters fight. The chickens are fighting. What's the objective cause? What's the cause of their fighting? The master flips it. He shifts the perspective from objective, the chickens are over there. Why do they fight? I want a cause. I should ask AI, why do the roosters fight? AI will tell me why they fight. Or ChatGPT. They'll tell me why they fight. Get a whole history. You can get a PhD on why the roosters fight. Why do chickens fight? Why do animals fight? And on and on. But the master doesn't answer that question the way the monk expects. The monk expects an objective answer. The master gives him a subjective answer. It's because of you. It's because of you. So unless you can shift your viewpoint from objective, the truth is out there, to subjective, I'm the truth is in me, you'll never get Zen, and you'll never really discover the joy of participating in the sorrows of life. See, Buddha said in these four noble truths, number one, life is suffering and sorrow. Most of us disagree in that. And we'll say, well, it's not all suffering. You know, I have good experiences, I have bad. It's a mix. It's a gamble. It's a crapshoot. That's not what Buddha's talking about. What life is suffering and sorrow, we look at that objectively. Why is life suffering? And we can come up with plenty of personal reasons why that's not true. But Buddha's not talking about that. That's the waves. Why does the ocean have waves? And I could go ChatGPT could tell me why. That's subjective, you see. But if I say, why does the ocean have waves? And the master says, it's because of you. It's because of you that the ocean has waves. What's going on here? We're not thinking objectively anymore. We're thinking metaphorically. In other words, the master is shifting the language from objective, waves, why are there waves? Why do the roosters fight, you see? To me, why do I fight? Why do I have waves in my mind? Why do I suffer? And I'm not talking about experience now. Why is my life separate? Why is my life, a viewpoint where everything is loss? Why is there loss? Why is there death? Why is there sorrow? Not in the world out there, because you can go to science for that, but why do I suffer? Why do I have to die? Why do I suffer loss? One loss after another, one failure after another. Why do I always feel something is missing? There's more and I can't find it, you see. So these Zen koans are a contradiction or a drama between an objective viewpoint, which is the monk. What is the way out there? What's the path? Show me where the path is. And the master always points to the subjective. And even beyond the subjective, because the subjective is psychology. So the truth in our Western science, you see, is going to be either objective through physics or subjective through psychology. But that's still a truth out there. If you want to know who you are, you could study and read all the psychology books ever written, and you would still not know, who am I? You would know what I am, but you wouldn't know who I am. That's the question. Who am I? Not what. Am I a father? Am I a husband? Am I a seeker, follower, consumer, creator? All these are whats. What am I, you see? Cannot be answered by what. And all of the Zen koans are a contradiction dramatized by a monk and a master. And the monks are always asking objective questions. What is the way? And the master will say, do you hear that traffic outside? Oh, well, yes, I hear the traffic. That is the way. And the monk goes, well, that's stupid. You mean the traffic is the way to the cessation of suffering? You mean I got to go get in traffic? The monk is still thinking objectively. The monk is not changing the viewpoint. And that viewpoint can only be changed with shock and awe. That's why in these Zen koans, the master are always twisting the monk's nose, slapping the monk, shocking the monk, shocking him out of the trance of objective thinking, the trance of expectations, the trance that the truth is out there, and if I get enough chat GPT, I can know the truth. But it's always objective. I'm not in there. You are a ghost in this truth. That's why we're never satisfied with the truth. There's always more. So these Zen koans are really shock and awe traps, where if your mind is ripe, if your suffering is great, if you've been struggling with this nagging feeling of what am I, who am I, what is the meaning of my life, if you've been struggling with that, you may be ripe. And if you're ripe, you can read a Zen koan and bam, it slaps you out of the trance and you see, you know directly. Not indirectly through words and knowledge and books and degrees. That's indirect knowing. But direct knowing, I know. And that knowing is who I am. Knowing. And when you know, no matter where you go, you know who you are. No matter what you're doing, whether you're just starting out or you're close to death, you know that you are knowing. And that flips everything from the world being sorrowful and suffering to joyful participation. You are joyfully participating in the knowing of life. And that changes everything. Let me just read this Joseph Campbell. Do we have enough? We're all in free fall into the future. We don't know where we're going. Things are changing so fast, and always when you're going through a long tunnel, anxiety comes along. And all you have to do is transform your hell into a paradise, is to turn your fall into a voluntary act. It's a very interesting shift in perspective, and that's all it is. Joyful participation in the sorrows, and everything changes. But you have to choose to participate in the suffering. And if you choose to participate in the suffering, it's kind of like Jesus choosing to hang from the cross. Where is the cross if you choose to hang from it? If everything's a cross, where's the cross? Hey, thanks for dropping in. Follow and subscribe. I'm kind of like hung up in the doldrums here of 1,133 views.